That's what's going to make a difference over the long term and will save our planet in the bargain. That's the kind of honest leadership you need from Washington. That's why I'm running for president of the United States of America. And now, if we can do those two things, if we can reduce the influence of special interests, if we can, let that person with a Hillary sign put up their sign. So there's nothing wrong with that. This is a free country, and this is a unified party. Absolutely. Come on. So, I don't know what all the fuss is about. We're going to have a bunch of Hillary signs at the convention. There'll be a lot of Obama signs, too. So, the only thing I will say is the person behind you probably can't see very well. That's not very nice of you. So you might want to think about the people behind you, that's all. But that's just being neighborly. But but listen. Now listen, here's the thing though. If we can push back the special interests, and if we've got leadership that's telling the truth about how we're going to solve problems, then I am absolutely convinced that we are on the brink of making some decisions that will restore economic growth and fairness to American life. And that's what people are looking for. They're not looking for a handout. No, I don't mean anybody who wants a handout from government. Americans, we want to work hard. We are self-reliant. We are independent. But what we do expect is some basic fairness, some basic justice. So, if the special interests aren't in charge, we can stop talking about the crisis in healthcare and start doing something about it. I've put forward a plan that says, if you've already got health insurance, we're going to lower your premiums by $2,500 per family per year. If you don't have health insurance, then you're going to be able to buy a health care plan that is as good as the health care plan I have as a member of Congress. And we won't exclude for pre-existing conditions. And we will make sure that we're negotiating for the cheapest available price on drugs for our seniors. And we will emphasize prevention so that people are getting regular checkups and people are making sure that they're getting proper screenings, because we don't need a disease care system, health care system to keep people healthy. And we are going to make sure, that we're not passing this 20 years from now or 10 years from now. We're going to do this by the end of my first term as President of the United States of America, because people need the help right now. We are going to be able to make our economy work for everybody, not just some people. So that means we're going to stop giving tax breaks to companies that ship jobs overseas, give those tax breaks to companies that are investing right here in the United States of America. It means that we are going to make sure that we give tax breaks to the middle class, not just the wealthy. It means that we're going to have trade agreements that are fair, so that if other countries aren't letting American goods into their countries, they shouldn't be selling their goods into our countries. That's just fairness. That's just straight. There's nothing wrong with that. And it means that we've got to create jobs again that pay good wages. And we can do it. There is no reason. There's an awful lot of wind right here in South Dakota. Why aren't we building windmills all across South Dakota and putting people to work? Why aren't we building solar panels that can produce energy and produce jobs? Why aren't we investing in cellulosic ethanol and biodiesel that can run our cars and make profits for our farmers? Why aren't we investing in clean energy all across America, creating 5 million new jobs? That's the kind of leadership we need from a president. That's the kind of leadership I intend to provide. While we're at it, why aren't we rebuilding our infrastructure? Our roads, our bridges, our broadband lines. Why aren't we rebuilding our grids so that we don't have brownouts and blackouts across this country because our electricity system isn't working properly? We could create 2 million new jobs. And listen, if people tell you that we can't afford it, you just remind them that we are spending $10 billion a month in Iraq. If we can spend $10 billion a month in Iraq, we can spend $10 billion right here in Sioux Falls, right here in South Dakota, right here in the United States of America. We can do that. If we're serious about our future, then we're going to invest in our education system. And it's not just going to be a slogan. It's not just going to say no child left behind. It's going to mean no child left behind. And the way we do that is investing in early childhood education to close the achievement gap. Make sure every child's prepared when they start school. It means that we are not just talking about how great teachers are, but we're paying teachers more money and giving them more support. And I want the highest standards for our students. Our young people, we're going to have to compete against children in China and children in India who are working very hard and producing engineers and scientists at a rapid pace. But our high standards can't be measured just by a single high-stakes standardized test. Because let me tell you something, I don't want our teachers teaching to the test. I want our teachers teaching art and music and civics and history and all the things that make an education worthwhile. And I don't know about you, but I think it's about time we make college affordable for every young person in America. And so we are going to give a $4,000 tuition credit to every student every year so that they can go to college and not accrue $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 worth of debt. But young people are going to have to give something back in return. Young people, you're going to have to spend some time in community service, working in a veterans home, working in a homeless shelter, join the Peace Corps, work in an underserved school. We'll invest in you, you invest in America, and together we can move this country forward. I love you too. Thank you. These are things that we can do. We have the resources, we have the know-how, we have the people. What we need is the leadership. But there's one other thing that we've got to do, and that is we've got to get our foreign policy in order. You know, some of you heard yesterday, George Bush made a speech in Israel where he suggested that some people, he said, want to appease terrorists. Now, I don't know who he's talking about, because what I do know is that George Bush made the biggest strategic error in